Hello and welcome to House News. In this episode, we present you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of Indonesia. And now, let's see the headlines for today. On a diplomatic visit to the Egyptian parliament, Beka Sape of the House discussed strengthening bilateral ties and enhancing cooperation in various sectors. Commission 1 of the House received a courtesy call from the Australian ambassador to Indonesia. The meeting discussed the potential for increased Australian investment in Indonesia. The meeting between Commission 1 of the House and the Iranian ambassador strengthened their commitment to enhancing bilateral cooperation. Commission 3 of the House received over 400 public complaints in 2024. These complaints were forwarded to the relevant partners. If you're planning a vacation this year, Time Out magazine has just released a list of the best tourist destinations in Asia that must be visited by 2025. Beka Sape of the House is committed to strengthening bilateral relations with Egypt, which has been established since 1947. One of key focus is enhancing cooperation in education, as there are many Indonesian students in Egypt.
In a meeting with the Egyptian parliament, Chairperson of the Committee for Interparliamentary Cooperation or BKSAP of the House, Mardani Alisera, stated the House support efforts to increase scholarship for Indonesian students in Egypt. He emphasized the importance of a 30-day visa waiver for Indonesia citizens planning to travel to Egypt. The delegation also advocated for enhancing cooperation in providing health insurance for Indonesian students in Egypt.
Salah satu problem mahasiswa kita adalah di asuransi kesehatan. Mereka datang tidak pakai asuransi, kalau sakit berat sekali. Nah, tadi kita sampaikan di parlemen, kita sampaikan di KBRI, kita sampaikan juga di Al-Azhar. Insya Allah akan coba dibuat skema pemerintah Indonesia, pemerintah Mesir, Al-Azhar, dan KBRI benar-benar bekerjasama untuk melindungi agar mahasiswa Indonesia punya asuransi kesehatan sehingga membuat mereka lebih nyaman belajar.
Furthermore, BKSAP of the House set up a meeting with the Indonesian ambassador to Egypt and representative of Al-Azhar University in Cairo. The committee was looking into a various problems that the Indonesian students face in Egypt. The students are seen as important asset to the nation, and the committee believes that should be protected and fully supported in their studies abroad. From Cairo, Egypt, Mahir Pratama, TVR Parliament, reports.
Commission 1 of the House appreciates Australia for initiating investment opportunities in Indonesia, covering food security, mining, and defense. This effort will strengthen bilateral ties and improve economic growth and security.
Chairperson of Commission 1 of the House, Utut Adianto, received a courtesy call of the Australian ambassador to Indonesia, Penny Williams. Utut said the meeting discussed investment in several sectors for the mutual benefit of both countries. He highlighted the trade balance between Indonesia and Australia currently shows a large deficit for Indonesia with a gap of around $6 billion. Therefore, Utut hoped the Australian ambassador would encourage Australia to invest more in Indonesia.
Artinya kita bisa mungkin belajar atau dia menginvestasi sesuatu, apalagi sekarang Presiden Pak Prabowo mau menggelontorkan proyek yang disebut mendukung kedaulatan pangan. Tentu ini kalau kita bisa kerjasama, ini akan sangat baik. Nah, kami selaku parlementarian mendorong untuk ngapain jauh-jauh Australia invest di mana. Indonesia adalah negara terdekat di Australia.
Moreover, Utut hopes Australia would support Indonesia with regard to the Papua issue, considering the negative assumptions related to Papua that are not based on facts. Australia is expected to play its key role in supporting Indonesia's Papua cause in international forums. Rifki and Rangga, TVR Parliament, report.
Commission 1 of the House held a meeting with the Iranian ambassador to Indonesia to discuss their commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation. The meeting focused on expanding collaboration across various sectors.
Indonesia and Iran highlighted the potential for cooperation in various fields, particularly related to robot surgery capabilities and transfer of medical technology. On the occasion, the chairperson of Commission 1 of the House, Utut Adianto, emphasized both countries were committed to maintaining the agreement on cooperation in various sectors as signed by President Jokowi and President Ibrahim Raisi in 2023.
Bahwa sebenarnya Iran ini punya keahlian di robot surgery, medicine, kemudian teknologi high-tech yang kita karena memang jarang berhubungan, kita belum memahami itu. Jadi mudah-mudahan dari pertemuan ini kita akan dorong ke para menteri, cobalah bekerja sama dengan Iran. Kita masih ingat kunjungan Presiden Iran, beliau berkunjung ke sini tanggal 22-23 Mei 2023. Beliau juga menawarkan hal yang sama setelah beliau diterima oleh Presiden Joko Widodo saat itu.
The Iranian ambassador to Indonesia, Muhammad Borojerdi, considered the meeting is important to strengthening bilateral relation and ensuring regional stability.
Also, we discussed about the bilateral cooperation in the field of the parliamentary cooperation. The Parliament of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Parliament of the Republic of Indonesia has got very good friendly and brotherly relation with each other. We hope to be able in the new Parliament of Iran and new Parliament of Indonesia, we boost this cooperation and we escalate this cooperation in a better situation, inshallah.
Halim and Julian, TVR Parliament Report.
After the break, we have updates from Commission 3 of the House. Stay tuned to House News. Commission 3 of the House highlighted the public complement services over the past year have given benefit to the people. The services also optimize the oversight function by monitoring the performance of its working partners.
Vice Chairperson of Commission 3 of the House, Sari Yuliati, mentioned Commission 3 consistently monitors public complaints addressed to them. She explained numerous bills passed by Commission 3 had received feedback from relevant counterparts and eventually give benefits to society. She emphasized Commission 3 always welcome community who wish to address their public complaints, especially ones related to legal problems.
Selama ini ketua kita itu rajin sekali untuk concern terhadap pengaduan-pengaduan masyarakat yang dialamatkan ke Komisi 3 yang tujuannya adalah fungsi pengawasan terhadap mitra-mitra Komisi 3. Jadi alhamdulillah kebijakan ini banyak memberikan manfaat buat masyarakat Indonesia karena DPR bisa meningkatkan fungsi pengawasan dari memaksimalkan fungsi pengawasan berdasarkan laporan dari masyarakat. Mungkin ke depannya kita juga akan membuka pintu selebar-lebarnya bagi masyarakat yang ingin mengadukan apa yang terjadi di lingkungan sekitarnya.
In addition, Sari Yuliati pointed out with the public complaint reports, the House can optimize its oversight function over the government to ensure that the national policies have a positive impact on the society. Bondan and Kiki, TVR Parliament Report.
The Ministry of Social Affairs reveals 40% of suicide cases in Indonesia are linked to bullying. The statistic has shown the psychological and social impact of bullying has on victims.
Member of Commission 10 of the House, Gamal Albin Said, urges to combat bullying in school through the curriculum. He believes anti-bullying actions should be part of every school's culture and can be effective if teachers are properly trained to handle bullying.
Termasuk dimasukkan dalam sebuah kurikulum. Tidak ada salahnya ketika kita mewajibkan semua sekolah membahas terkait bullying sebagai salah satu instrumen wajib dalam proses pendidikan sehingga awareness terhadap bullying bisa meningkat. Dan tentu ini semua akan kembali menjadi tanggung jawab guru serta orang tua. Oleh karena itu, kita tidak akan bisa membangun pendidikan ketika kita tidak memilih guru-guru orang-orang terbaik menjadi seorang guru.
Meanwhile, Vice Chairperson of Commission 10 of the House, Mahfudz Abdurrahman, encouraged school to establish communication with parents to deal with problems that usually occur in schools, such as bullying.
Nah, makanya ekosistem pendidikan itu memang harus sinergis dan harus kolaboratif. Sekolah di satu sisi, terus kemudian guru, orang tua, lingkungan, dan sebagainya. Nah, ini juga harus melakukan sinergi dan kolaborasi.
From Makassar, South Sulawesi, Dwi Utomo, TVR Parliament reports.
Commission 5 of the House encourages the achievement of infrastructure development goals in 2025. They are prioritizing projects such as roads, bridge, irrigation, and school renovations follow the construction feasibility standards.
Member of Commission 5 of the House, Danang Wicaksana, pointed out most roads designed by Bina Marga were mainly built with concrete, but these roads often fail to meet road comfort standards. Therefore, the 2025 National Infrastructure Strategic Program needs to undergo an in-depth feasibility study. Bina Marga needs to consider effective road construction methods using asphalt mixed materials.
Mengenai rigid pavement, saya kira rigid pavement itu kan gimana pun juga untuk jarak jauh juga itu saya kira untuk kenyamanan malah tetap nyaman fleksibel pavement dengan aspal. Nah, monggo itu kajiannya di Bina Marga seperti apa? Karena seingat saya waktu saya sekolah dulu, rigid pavement itu untuk daerah-daerah yang kena minyak, artinya di pom bensin, di apron pesawat gitu ya. Kalau jalannya gimana pun juga, kalau memang itu dari konstruksinya sudah bagus, gimana pun juga tetap enak kalau atasnya aspal.
On the other hand, the chairperson of Commission 5 of the House, Lazarus, emphasized the importance of achieving the target for schools improvement in 2025. Schools must be built with good construction quality to ensure they last a long time.
Karena pekerjaan kita terkait dengan perbaikan gedung sekolah ini masih panjang, Pak, jalannya. Ada masih puluhan ribu gedung sekolah yang harus kita perbaiki. Mungkin di masa pemerintahannya sekarang butuh waktu 5 tahun, belum tentu selesai, Pak. Belum tentu selesai. Ini baru kita bicara sekolah dasar, Pak.
Ajib Endivo, TVR Parliament report.
When we return, we bring you more updates on travel and leisure, only on House News. Time Out magazine recently released a list of top tourist destinations to visit in 2025. Sumba, an island in East Nusa Tenggara, became the first on the list as a leading destination offering pristine and natural beauty.
Sumba, which is only a 15-minute flight from Bali, is famous for its stunning beaches such as Nihiwatu. This beach has been named as the best beach in the world. This island also offers dramatic savanna landscape, making it an ideal place for travelers looking for adventure and serenity. In addition, tourists are also recommended to visit Lake Wikuri, a natural saltwater pool perfect for swimming. Famous for its surfing spot, Siargao of Philippines is a tropical paradise that attracts water sport lovers. This island's beautiful lagoons make it a must-visit. Da Nang, a Vietnamese beach destination, occupied the third position because restaurants and drinking places are growing rapidly. Tainan is celebrated for its rich history and delicious street food. The city is home to numerous temple and cultural sites. Known is for colonial architecture and culinary delights, Ipoh is a charming city that offers a glimpse into Malaysia's past. Meanwhile, Osaka in Japan, famous for its modern architecture, shopping districts, and mouth-watering street food. The city culture and entertainment options are sure to attract visitors. Nan in Thailand is a destination known for its beautiful landscape and traditional Thai culture. It's perfect for those seeking tranquility away from the bustling tourist spots. And the last destination to visit is Lijiang in China. With its ancient town and stunning natural surroundings, the city is UNESCO World Heritage Site.
A hotel in the Philippines was awarded a Guinness World Record for the largest building in the shape of a chicken. The hotel is designed to withstand the storms and typhoons that frequently hit the region.
With 15 rooms equipped with amenities such as a bed, TV, and bathroom, the Chicken Hotel offers an unusual staying experience. The owner of the hotel is proud of the iconic project that has helped promote the province. The rooster shape was chosen to expose the local poultry industry and reflect the quiet yet strong character of the local people. The Chicken Hotel also offers an observation deck that provides a beautiful view from the boat, enriching the visitor's experience to the Highland Resort. As a new tourist destination, this hotel adds to the option of unique accommodation in the Philippines. While the Chicken Hotel may be the largest, chicken chef buildings are not new in the world. In Indonesia, for example, there is already a famous chicken chef church in Magelang. Different from the Chicken Hotel in the Philippines, which is designed for lodging, the Chicken Church focuses more on religious function and has become a quiet, popular tourist destination in Indonesia.
A family vacation can be a fun time offering opportunities to bond and explore new places. However, bring children, especially babies or toddlers, recently presents its own challenges.
From dealing with kids crying on the plane to adjusting to new environments and nap times, there are many things to prepare when you are vacation with children. Here are some tips to help you enjoy a vacation with your little ones. Before departing, make sure you have done research about the destination you will visit. Try not to plan too many activities in one day to make your kids not too tired. It is better to choose a place that allows you to stay longer so you can enjoy various activities without rushing. When traveling with a baby or toddler, choosing a place to stay requires more attention. It is better to choose accommodation that is more flexible than a hotel, such as an apartment or villa, which is usually equipped with additional facilities such as kitchen and washing machine. Moreover, make sure your accommodation is strategically located and close to regularly visited places. The weather in your vacation destination can vary a lot, so make sure you are ready with the right outfit for your children. If you are on the trip in a hot place, avoid direct exposure to the sun and always use sunscreen. Meanwhile, if you are going to a cold place, make sure their clothes are warm enough to keep them comfortable throughout the trip. With proper preparation, a holiday with a baby or toddler can be smooth and enjoyable and also become an unforgettable moment with the whole family.
And that's House News for today. Thank you for watching everyone and have a good day.